What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Hope everyone had a good week and a good weekend. We got The Boys Season 5, Episode 7 review, the penultimate episode. We also got The Punisher special presentation review. And then, we'll just do our normal stuff. But yeah, only one episode left of The Boys of the entire show. Yeah, it's almost over. What's up, CVO? But let's get started. I just gotta get the banner pulled up. But season 5, episode 7. It's called The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk, which I believe that's a reference to the comics. Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I was going to talk about how they're going to wrap everything up in an hour. But yeah, Afterthought last week, last week's episode was pretty good, pretty enjoyable. This week's episode, very disappointing. Just it kind of reminds me of Stranger Things season 5, episode 7, The Bridge. Just nothing really happens in this episode. I mean, it's really not much. I mean, the opening scene is old father rehearsing this like song to get people to accept Homelander as the one true God, which is insane. But it's just a rehearsal, and then after that, Starlight has a scene with Marilyn Monroe, which I don't even understand what the point of her character is. Because like we haven't seen her for episodes, and like there's 2 episodes left in the show, and you're bringing her in now. Like I just don't get the point of these Gen V characters. Like, what do they have to do with the main story? What do they have to do with the main mission? And it would just feel completely wrong if this Marilyn Monroe character is the one who defeats Homelander, takes down Homelander, because the entire show since season 1 has been Butcher and his team trying to find a way to take down Homelander, try a way to kill him, defeat him, whatever. That's been the focus of the entire show. So I think it'd be dumb and just completely, just a complete waste of time if it's anybody but Butcher who kills Homelander. And I have a bad feeling that Homelander is not even going to die. That he may actually end up winning in the end, which that'd be a horrible ending. I understand the good guys can't always win, but in this show there really are no good guys. Like really, like except Huey and Starlight to an extent. That's really it. Like there isn't a lot of characters in this show that have like a truly good moral center. Feel like this episode should have been episode 5. It's placed at the wrong time. Instead of bringing the Gen V character, they promote Vault Rising. Yeah, I know. Which, don't get me wrong, I am interested in that prequel, but I felt like they just brought back Soldier Boy just to set up that show, and it's just a complete, waste of his character, just completely wasted potential. It just frustrates me. I actually think Homelander will kill Marie. That's possible. I mean, apparently she's supposed to be almost as strong as him, like almost, which is what I keep hearing. I don't really understand her powers that much. Apparently, all I really know is that she can like control blood or whatever. That's really my understanding of her powers. But anyway, back to the episode. They have like one scene with her and Starlight and MM basically like tell her to like run or like just leave or whatever, and they're like, what the hell, like you needed our help, now you want us gone. And Starlight says just go save yourselves and stuff. And you know Mary's like, you're not the hero I thought you were. And Starlight's like, I guess not. um which does kind of remind me of Starlight and Maeve in seasons 2 and 3, or in the season 3 finale, where Annie said, deep down I thought you were a hero, and Maeve said, well, you're wrong, there's no such thing. So it kind of reminds me of that in a way. But then we don't see him again until the end of the episode. The pacing in this season's been atrocious. Like, you have characters going in and out. Which, by the way, where the frick is Ryan? We haven't seen him since the beginning of episode 4, after Butcher is trying to like patch him up, and Ryan's like, "You don't give two craps about me," and then he just leaves, and we haven't seen him since. Like, where the frick is Ryan? Like, I just don't get it. Like apparently he's supposed to, eventually be strong enough to take on Homelander and eventually, defeat Homelander. I mean, that's what Butcher wanted. We haven't seen him since episode 4. Like, where the frick is Ryan? Like, I just don't get it. I agree. The pacing's awful. Yeah, I know. Like, is he gonna show up at all in the last episode? Because like we don't see Ryan at all in the finale. Then what was the point of his character? Like, I just don't get it. Um, just a complete waste. I mean, he was in episode 3 for most of it, beginning of episode 4, then he fucks off, and then we haven't seen him since. So I don't get it. But basically, Butcher and the group, they're trying to recreate Soldier Boy's nuclear blast, so that they can depower Homelander. Now he has the V1, because the virus is pretty much useless because it didn't work on Soldier Boy, so it's not going to work on Homelander now. So they're trying to recreate that blast, and Kumiko's going through all this like suffering, and she's getting like physically weak and stuff because of I forget what it's called. The thing that the Russians used, uranium. That's what it was. But they're trying to use uranium to recreate the blast. Same thing the Russians did to Soldier Boy back in like 70s or 80s or whatever. But basically, that's their backup plan to take out Homelander. So they're trying to work on that. And it was actually Kimiko's idea, I think, and like she's fine with it. So they're doing that. So then they go to the place where they have this like screening, and you have this like really bad commercial of Homelander just walking through a field, and this guy dressed up as Jesus basically like gives him the crown and it's like, you're God now. And Homelander's like, I guess I accept. And they have all these like criminals in the room that have psychic powers that are really dangerous. Basically to see like who, truly believes Homelander is God or not. Which of course everyone raises their hands, but here we go. I quit season 5 after episode 4. Yeah, I kind of don't blame you, dude. I mean, this season's been a letdown. Hate to say it, but as I was saying, you have the criminals with the psychic powers who can tell who believes in Homelander and who doesn't. And I forgot to mention the scene where Homelander's in the White House sitting in the president's desk. And he's like, you can use my office for however long you want. And Homelander's like, I know. Basically, he's basically saying like, I don't need your permission or whatever. I can do whatever I want. So Homelander has him like make all these executive orders and stuff of like banning abortion, making breastfeeding mandatory, banning nut milk, all this stuff. And the president says like, I don't have that authority, sir. So he makes Ashley go into his mind, and she sells him out. Says like he's terrified of you. He thinks that you're a borderline psychopath, and he's like, really? So then he goes up to him. He's like, don't worry, I'm not mad, but I am disappointed, and then kills him. We all knew it was going to happen. Not the way I thought it was going to happen. I thought, at the end of season 4, I thought he would kill the president so that he can take over America as the president and, do that. But here it's a completely different reason. He kills him because he doesn't believe in him and he fears him because he's a psychopath. But yeah, we all saw that coming. What is it with these TV shows having a terrible final season for Cobra Kai, Stranger Things, and other boys? Yeah, that was my fear, dude. I mean, Game of Thrones as well, which I've never watched Game of Thrones. I have no interest in it. But everyone's like, "Gotta watch Game of Thrones. It's so good. Just don't watch season 8." They say that had a terrible final season, and then Walking Dead, fell off a mountain after season 5, I think, maybe season 6. I don't know. Which Noah keeps telling me to watch it. Watch Walking Dead. Watch Walking Dead. I'm like I'm not getting invested in a show that starts out good for like 5 seasons and then it just falls off a mountain and gets dragged out and watched. Like, I don't want to watch season 7 through 11. Like, I heard it's terrible. But regardless, yeah, now a lot of these shows, don't end well. I heard Squid Game had a bad final season, which I don't really care about Squid Game. I never had any interest in it. 2021, I just did not get, where Cobra Kai season 3, it just came out. Nobody was talking about it in my school. But Squid Game comes out. It's a brand new show. Everybody's talking about it. I'm like, what the frick? I heard about Umbrella Academy. I didn't really know anything about it. I just heard of it. But yeah, as I was saying, so then the Deep goes to Homelander and confesses like, hey, I took out Noir. I'm sorry. I was saying mean stuff about you. And he's like, it's okay, Deep. I'm not mad. I'm abolishing the 7 anyway. It hasn't been the 7 in years. And, at first I thought they're going to do something similar with Firecracker, where the Deep begs him to let him stay. He's like, let me run the 7 for you. I've been the most loyal to you out of anybody. I've, given up everything for you. And Homelander just smiles at him and just says, don't make this about you. And, just kicks him to the curb. And now the Deep has nothing left. Do I feel bad for him? Absolutely not. He's a piece of crap, deserves it, deserves worse, honestly. So now the Deep has absolutely nothing. Then, we see him sitting on the dock, and then we see this hammerhead shark voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, which it was funny to a degree, but basically says, like, you set one foot in the water again, and you're a dead man. So he doesn't even have that anymore. So he has absolutely nothing left. And then he had an opportunity to be a true hero and save somebody in the water, but he knew that If he went into the water, he would have been a dead man. So runs away like the coward he is, and people filmed it. So now it's going to be everywhere. So now he's going to be looked at as a piece of shit, as he should be. So I've always hated the Deep since the show started. Just a piece of crap. Um, no redeeming qualities whatsoever. So he's definitely going to die in the finale, hopefully. If the Deep survives the finale, I'm going to be so mad, dude. Anyway, back to where we were earlier. Butcher and Huey get caught by the psychic dude. So they get captured, and then that guy tricks Martin and Starlight, where Starlight's kind of giving up, saying, like, what's the point of saving these people? They're stupid. They don't really, they don't really care because that, woman said, fuck Starlight. They're like, they don't even want to be saved. So what's the point of even doing it? And, this is actually a really good scene where Martin reveals how he got the nickname Mother's Milk of when he saved a hummingbird or something. I probably got that wrong. But he tells her the story of, how he got his nickname. It's probably the best scene we've seen from him the entire season. You probably say it's one of his best scenes in the show. And then we get, that freaking cat lady and the other dude come after them, so they hide in the freaking ceiling. And it's just really weird scene that I'm not even going to get into. But they eventually get away. Then Homelander orders Father to kill the non-believers. So pretty much just lock the doors and they just start killing people. So then Starlight and Martin save them. Then we get this scene with the psychic who turns into Joe Kessler, who was in Butcher's Hallucinations last season. So it was good to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan back. Really good actor. Also voiced Conquest and Invincible. But basically tries to get Huey to turn on Butcher by, going into Butcher's memories and talking about a CIA mission that Kessler, the real Kessler, and Butcher went on, and how Butcher basically sacrificed all his men to take down this one person. But he kind of plays the reverse card and, distracts the psychic with a bad memory of like his brother. So he's like, that was just a distraction. And then Butcher uses the parasite powers that he has and takes him out. So then they leave. But it was already too late because he already informed Homelander of their plan to give Kumiko Soldier Boy's blast. Which, speaking of Soldier Boy, Homelander like draws up this like amusement park, this like Disneyland type thing. It's like a parody of Disneyland, but it's Homeland, and he has this Soldier Boy section and stuff. And he shows a picture of like a new suit drawn up for Soldier Boy, and it's made the kind of look like Homelander. He's like, hell no, I'm not wearing that. But I really am just not much of a fan of what they've done with Soldier Boy this season. So Soldier Boy is like, no, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. You're weird. I'm going up to Columbia to spend the rest of my days. And remember, Soldier Boy's immortal, so he can live forever. Then Homelander gets upset about it. He's like, fine, leave. So then Soldier Boy's like, if it makes it easier, it's me, not you. So then as he walks past Homelander grabs him, chokes him out, and apparently, which at first I thought he was dead at first, but he just, knocked him out unconscious. And he locked him up back in the cryo freezer container thing. So We'll see if he's stuck there for good to end off his character, or if he breaks out in the finale and depowers Homelander if Kumiko can't do it. But yeah, just completely wasted potential with Soldier Boy's character. Very disappointed. After 2 years ago, I was, excited to see him come back because he was so good in season 3. Um, but um, Starlight and Martin save all those people. So they eventually bring him to Marilyn Monroe, and she's like, "What do you want?" And we need your help. These people need your help. So they're like, "All right." Then the same lady who said "fuck Starlight" earlier, she actually thanks Starlight for saving her, which is good. So it kind of like shows like these people can be saved. They can change. They are capable of change, which is good. And then after that, we see, which earlier we see Frenchie get Sage to like snap out of it and help him recreate Soldier Boy's nuclear blast. And we see like the physical pain that Kimiko's taking on. So Homelander eventually finds them, and he goes in there, and he's after Sage. He's like, I owe her a visit. So Kumiko and Sage hide in a zinc container because Homelander can't see through it. So he's using his X-ray vision to try and find them, and then he sees the zinc container. He's like, that's the perfect place to hide because I can't see through it. But then Frenchie distracts him, and he goes up to him and says, "Where is Sage?" And he basically does the same thing that A-Train did. He stands up to him and said, like, "You've never danced once, have you?" And basically insults Homelander, and it actually hurts him more than the uranium that Frenchie pulls out. But flips him off, and then Homelander's like, "Really? Grow up." So she tells him that Kumiko already has the Soldier Boy blast, and that she's on her way to Vought Tower to take you out. So Homelander, he does technically kill Frenchie, but he doesn't die until after he leaves. So Homelander just leaves, flies away, and then Kumiko and Sage come out. And then we get this like big emotional scene of Kimiko crying and holding Frenchie into her arms, saying like, "Don't leave me." And Frenchie says, "You saved me. I'm not gonna leave you. I never will." And then he dies, and Huey and Butcher get there, and in the final shot of the episode is Frenchie's death. So very sad to see him go. And that's pretty much the episode. I think I covered everything. Yeah, you had some strong moments in this episode, but overall, just mid at best. Probably give it a 7.3. Probably could be lower, but there's just not a lot happens. There's still like a lot that needs to be wrapped up, and the finale is only an hour. So I don't know how they're going to wrap everything up in an hour. Plus, there's still like a lot of characters that they're probably going to kill off. Finale is probably going to be a massacre. But yeah. The Deep is smarter than Firecracker. He actually listened to Homelander. Yeah. They tried to redeem the Deep in season 2, but it didn't work. I don't think they were trying to do that at all. He was just trying to get back into the 7. Soldier Boy was so pointless this season. Like, what was the actual point of his character? Oh, right, they wanted to promote the prequel. Yeah. I feel like if that's the reason, then there's really no point. Rest in peace, Freddy. Butcher looked like he was about to cry. He was 100% going to go after Homelander now and avenge Frenchie. Well, he's going after him either way, but still. 7.4 out of 10 for me. Yeah, that's close enough. But I hope we get just an epic final battle at the White House. Predictions for the finale. I think we'll get one more fight between Butcher and Homelander. And I think Homelander will die. If he doesn't, then that's a huge letdown. I think Butcher is going to die regardless. I think there's a good chance that MM and Kumiko die as well. I think it needs to be like at least 5 deaths. The Deep's dying 100%. I think Huey will live. Ryan will live. If they're gonna kill Ryan off, they would have done it in episode 3. I think there's a possibility Starlight dies. I hope not, but I'm gonna say Starlight lives. I think Huey will live. Ryan will live. Ashley will probably live. We'll see if they keep Soldier Boy in the container or not. But I think everybody else is good as gone. Maybe MM survives. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I hope it delivers. Homelander, Butcher, the Deep, and Kumiko will die. Yeah, Soldier Boy might die. Trying to get revenge on Homelander for locking him up again. But yeah, the finale would be like a 10 out of 10 episode, or at least a 9.5 minimum, because my goodness, this season has been such a letdown. I hope I hope it doesn't. I hope the same thing doesn't happen for Invincible, because I love that show. Which Invincible has long ways to go, obviously. But I hope whenever Invincible reaches its final season, it doesn't go through crap like this. But The Boys has dropped in quality, since after season 3. I think season 3 is when the show peaked for me. Anyway. I think MM will get a happy ending. Yeah, I hope so. He deserves it. Good life with Janine and Monique, because Monique takes him back at the end of season 4. Season 3 could have been the ending. Yeah, it probably should have been, because all they had to do was get Ryan out of there and let Soldier Boy do his thing. And the show you could have just ended the show there, honestly. But we will move on to my Punisher review, which my good friend Noah put a review on his channel, so go check it out. So my thoughts on it, I thought it was all right. I don't think it was that special. No pun intended, because I said special. Um, but yeah, I just don't think it was that good. I mean, don't get me wrong, the action was entertaining. Um, but I mean, Frank Castle barely talks. And when he does talk, he's usually like yelling and screaming, or he's breaking down crying or whatever, but he barely speaks at all throughout this whole thing. And, I felt like it could have been better. Like they don't show us how he got to where he is. He's just, there. Like it doesn't like what I thought they were going to do was, show him being on the run after escaping that prison at the end of Born Again season 1. Um, but he has like a bunch of, hallucinations. He hallucinates Curtis and some of these other people. Um, he sees, his wife and, his daughter. So he sees his family. He visits, the cemetery where their graves at, speaking to them. Um, he hallucinates Karen Page at one point, which I know I've heard they had like a weird relationship in the Netflix Daredevil, which was way before Matt Murdock and Karen Page got together. Um, but that's besides the point. Um, but they have like a weird relationship. So like he hallucinates her. Um, then you have like this asshole at the beginning where like this veteran's like carrying around this like cute little dog. So like he grabs the dude's hat, starts wearing it, and he like holds the puppy, and he's like, and he's holding it, and then he just chucks it at a moving truck. I'm like, you fucking asshole! What a piece of shit. Which the ending made me so happy. But we see, Punisher like having all these like hallucinations and stuff. Then he, walks around a bit, walks around to like this part of the city. Then he gets like approached by this woman in a wheelchair, which apparently her character is way worse in the comics than she is here. But she basically like tells him about like how, you and I are not that different. I lost my family too because of you. And they show all these of Punisher, killing her husband and her sons and stuff like that, which apparently like her family did some pretty horrendous things. But she remembers like a certain time, like 6:47 or whatever. She's like, I'm gonna get my revenge on you. And she pretty much spits in his face, and she's like, 6:47, you're a dead man or whatever. I'm gonna be the one punishing you. So she throws his name back in his face. So then around that time, all these like mercenaries, or whatever the frick you call them, they start coming after him, and he has to decide if he wants to live or die or whatever. But he basically breaks out, and we get this like pretty entertaining action scene where like he's shooting at all these people. I mean, there was one shot where I did not like, where like he falls onto like something. It was just bad. I just didn't like it. Um, but like he takes out all these dudes in a pretty entertaining action sequence. So then he makes it out of it. And then we see the woman in the limo, and they're just staring at each other. So they have some unfinished business. Um, but basically, how this thing ends. He's got his Punisher suit on, and he's walking down, and we see that guy at the beginning of the film where he takes a baseball bat and he's about to hit this couple, but he knocks him to the ground and grabs his hat, or grabs the hat, gives it back to the veteran, and he said, "That's not the only thing you took from me." So he takes out his gun and the dude's on the ground. And then the final scene is him shooting that guy in the face, poetic karma, and then just shows the Punisher logo, and that's pretty much the end of it. No post-credit scene, but that's pretty much it. It was only 40 minutes, which wasn't as long as some of the Punisher episodes from the Netflix series. But I thought it was okay. I don't think it was great. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. I thought it had its moments, but I just didn't think it was that good. I was hoping, for more. I was hoping that it would show us, how he got to where he was, because before Born Again, we hadn't seen the John Bernthal Punisher in like 7-8 years. So it would have been interesting if they showed us how he got to where he is. But it is what it is. I hope he does get his own show, and I hope it's with writers who actually care about the character and won't, make him look corny and cheesy, make him look like a raving lunatic. But yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. Whoops, already read that one. Punisher Special is an 8 out of 10. I respect it. Nothing too crazy. That poor dog. Yep. Frank Castle, we'll see you a brand new day. Yes. I liked this special more than the New Boys episode. Yeah, I would say it's probably objectively better. But we're going to get into the film news to wrap up the TV and film segment. All right. Jeffrey Wright will officially return as Jim Gordon in The Batman Part 2. In theaters October 1st, 2027. 5 years is way too long. All right. Aaron Paul will officially return as Powerplex in Invincible Season 5. So, yeah, I had heard that Aaron Paul was done with Powerplex because, the character was too dark and stuff, which is really weird because he played Jesse Pinkman on Breaking Bad for years, and that character was pretty dark. So I thought that was really weird, but good to have him back as Powerplex in the next season. Minecraft sequel has officially started filming. I already know. Multiverse of Fandoms is super excited for this. Kristen Dust as Alex. July 23rd, 2027, a year from now. The Punisher, One Last Kill opens to 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a bit much. Both Top Gun movies will officially return to theaters tomorrow. To celebrate the 40th anniversary of the original 1986 film, Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick are returning to theaters nationwide for 1 week. I've only seen the first one. Vision Quest will officially release on October 14th. Ahsoka Season 2 has officially been delayed to early 2027. Did not know they were doing a second season. Invincible creator says future seasons will include more original storylines. That's pretty cool. Live action Voltron movie will no longer be released in theaters. That's stupid, but whatever. Reacher has been renewed for season 5. Oh boy. 4 new Fast and Furious TV series are officially in the works. All right, they're really milking it now. Vin Diesel will be executive producer. I mean, I don't know what more you can really do with it. Michael will officially return to IMAX theaters next weekend. It is now one of the highest grossing musical biopics ever. Did they take it out of the theater or something? Or no? Or did they just remove it from IMAX? I don't know. Sebastian Stan has started training to play Two-Face in the Batman Part 2. It's pretty cool that he's playing that character, because most people know him as Hawkeye. In Marvel, obviously. Euphoria season 3 finale will be 1 hour and 33 minutes. I have not watched one episode of Euphoria. It will be one of the longest TV episodes in HBO history. Jesus. They're like, bro, just end the show. They're like, bro, just end the show. That's funny. The downfall of the show needs to be studied. Oh, wow. Is it the last episode of the show, or will there be a season 4? I heard it's I heard season 3 is the last season. I heard it's not good or whatever. Carl Urban is having an insane month. Mortal Kombat 2, he plays Johnny Cage. I still got to see that. Mortal Kombat 2 has made back 80% of its $80 million budget in just 48 hours. Biggest opening weekend for a Mortal Kombat movie ever. Avengers Doomsday will include a secret Avenger that hasn't been announced yet. Oh boy. Matt Shakman will reportedly not return to direct the Fantastic Four 2. Marvel Studios is on the hunt for a new director. Get a good one, please. The Boys creator wants fans to stop complaining about filler episodes in season 5. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have made filler episodes and you should have focused on the main story. Many fans feel the season is too focused on setting up Soldier Boy's spin-off show. Well, it is. It's a fact. instead of focusing on the main objective, taking out Homelander, you're focused on setting up a prequel show. Like, if your final season is focused on setting up a prequel series, then you failed. I'm sorry, but it's facts. All right, what else we got? Okay, what is this? Um, the Deathstroke and Bane movie is finishing the works at DC Studios. Like, what are they doing over there? Tatiana Maslany says fans don't want her to return as She-Hulk in MCU. Well, they're right, because I heard She-Hulk was absolutely atrocious, according to Noah. The Batman Part 2 will officially take place during the winter. I actually really like that. I love playing Arkham City back in the day, and I loved when it would like snow in the game. Actually, that might have been what was that other Arkham game? I forgot. Um, there's like this one Arkham game between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. I can't remember what it was called, but there's like a part of the game where you're just walking around in Gotham City and it's snowing. So I actually really like that. It's gonna take place in the winter. That's really cool. Bullseye will get a new suit in Daredevil Born Again Season 3. This suit looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I actually like that suit. Yeah, this poster looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Superman inspired Homelander poster. Homelander, Justice Served, Vought Studios. This actually looks pretty good. That actually looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, pretty much all caught up on that stuff. I'm hyped for Batman too. Yeah. I actually really like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I thought 2022 Batman was really good. 2022 is a pretty good year for movies and TV shows. We're gonna get Batman in the snow. Yeah, I really like that vibe. They're milking the Fast and Furious franchise, bro. I know, Universal, bro. Why are you getting on Crystal Lake show? What? I'm confused. I mean, why are we getting a Crystal Lake show? I don't know what that is, but bro, that's longer than the Boys season 5 finale. Yeah, jeez. Maybe you should have made the Boys season 5. I actually feel like the final season, gosh, the dumb showrunner. Yeah, he did the same thing with freaking Supernatural. Yeah, I've lost all faith on James Gunn. Yeah, just a complete failure, as I predicted. Somehow he's made DC worse than what it was. Felt like if DC got their shit together and gave Marvel a fight, then Marvel would have locked the fuck in. But apparently that didn't happen. Cobra Kai season 5, Stranger Things season 4, The Boys season 3, Batman 2022. We had Top Gun Maverick, which I still haven't watched. Yeah, just a lot of good movies and shows that came out that year. except for Thor: Love and Thunder. That was atrocious, but just a good year for film and TV in general. Barbie came out that year. I did not watch that. Oppenheimer came out that year. I did not watch that. I'm not sitting through 3 hours of Oppenheimer. I just can't do it. But I'll probably wrap up our film stuff. Got to get into the sports stuff, and that'll probably wrap it up. The NFL schedule comes out tomorrow, the full schedule. So we'll talk about that next week when the full schedule is out. But we got playoff basketball to talk about. No games tomorrow, so that's cool. Not really. The draft combine's going on. I usually don't pay attention to that much. But we're just gonna pick up where we left off from last week, which we also got to talk about the draft lottery. I forgot about that. We got to talk about that. I have to go. Well, good stream. Have a good night. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you as always. And have a good rest of your night. But here's our sports stuff. So Pistons win by 10, go up 2-0 at home. Cade 25-10. He's been amazing in these playoffs. 31 for Donovan Mitchell. And then the Thunder go up 2-0 on the Lakers. 22 from Chet, 31 from Reeves. Probably his best game of the playoffs. But Thunder go up 2-0, heading out to LA. Takes us to Friday. As soon as this thing loads. But the Knicks go up 3-0 in Philly. 33 from Brunson, 22 from Kelly Oubre. And then the Spurs go up 2-1 in Minnesota. Wemby, 39 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, 32 points and 14 rebounds from Anthony Edwards. Can't say enough how much I love those throwback Wolves uniforms. They look so awesome. I hope they keep them permanently. The court looks amazing as well. I love the old logo, the parquet floor, the green trees on like the logo and the sides. Looks really awesome. And Saturday, the Cavs get back in the series, cut it to 2-1. They trailed for most of this game, but they ended up coming back. Mitchell, 35-10. Cade with a triple-double, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and assists. Thunder go up 3-0 in LA. AJ Mitchell played phenomenal. He's been playing phenomenal all series. criminally underrated player. 24 points, 10 assists, 21 from Rui. But Thunder take care of business there. Then we go to Sunday's matches. Knicks, yeah, the Sixers didn't even put up a fight. I mean, this game was over by halftime. I deadass thought at one point the Knicks were going to score 200 points. Like, it was bad. Down 3-0 at home in a must-win game, and just no effort whatsoever. Knicks take care of business. They sweep the Sixers. This makes the Celtics look even worse. The Celtics should not have lost to the Sixers team. So this series right here should be a huge wake-up call for Brad Stevens. But Knicks take care of business. They blow them out by 30 damn points on the road. They secure their second straight Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Embiid with 24, 17 and 10 from Cat. And then we had a crazy game in Minnesota. For whatever reason, Wemby went up to grab a rebound and he elbowed Naz Reid in the neck for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I appreciate the toughness and physicality, but sometimes you just got to chill. You just got to tone it down. He was issued a flagrant 2. So if you get a flagrant 2, you are out of the game. Just part of the rules. And he's asking Harrison Barnes, like, what does that mean? He's like, it means your night's done, bro. And, the Spurs were still in control for most of this game. I mean, Dylan Harper was cooking, and he's a rookie coming off the bench. I mean, the kid's borderline unstoppable when he gets to the rim. 24 points from him, but Ant went off 36 points. The Wolves went on a clutch run at the end of the game. They almost lost this game because they couldn't inbound the ball properly. They getting picked off and stuff. My boss was actually getting mad at it, saying like, what the frick are you guys doing? Because, he had a bet. He bet on the Wolves to win by 8, and he needed them to win by 8, but they didn't. So he's like, you guys fucking deserve to lose. I hope you guys lose. You guys fucking deserve it. So I thought that was hilarious. But Minnesota wins it. They tie it up, heading back to San Antonio. So much credit to them. 36 from Ant. So he's one of the most entertaining players to watch come playoff time. But go to Monday. Cavs tie the series. They actually went on a 24-0 run in the second half. They were actually trailing at halftime. Then they went on a 24-0 run to take the lead, pretty much ice the game from there. Donovan Mitchell scored 0 points in the first half, but then he woke up in the second half, scores 43 points, 24 from LeVert. When he's your leading scorer, that's an issue. And then the Thunder take care of business. They sweep the Lakers on the road in LA, 35 from SGA, 27 from Reeves. But Thunder are 8-0 in the playoffs. The Pacers are the last team to beat them in the postseason. So we'll see if they get Minnesota or San Antonio. We'll see if Minnesota can force a Game 7 or if the Spurs can take care of business in Game 6. But Spurs Thunder would be really fun. Wolves Thunder rematch. We'll see if the Wolves could win more than the game because last time they got beaten in 5. So, I mean, that's the issue with the Wolves. They look good getting to the conference finals, but when they actually get there, they fall apart. Which I hope that does not happen, but we'll have to see. But go to Tuesday. Yesterday, only one game. Spurs blow out the Wolves again in Game 5 in Wemby's return. I knew he's going to go off. He's going to use that ejection as motivation. 27 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was phenomenal. IO 16 points, but Spurs are up 3-2, looking to clinch the series. That's not what I clicked on at all. But yeah, they're looking to clinch the series, make their first conference finals appearance since 2017. It was Kawhi's last playoff run with them. When they went up against Golden State, Kawhi goes down with that ankle injury thanks to Zaza Pachulia, and they get swept. But Cavs Pistons tonight. Pistons led by 15 at one point. Cavs come all the way back, and they end up winning this game in overtime. They win their first game on the road in the postseason. So they're up 3-2, heading back home to Cleveland in Game 6. Huge opportunity to win this series, go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time without LeBron James in the post-LeBron era. Donovan Mitchell is 1 win away from his first conference finals appearance. 30 points from James Harden, finally locked in. 39 from Cade. If they lose this series, the Pistons need to add more scoring around Cade regardless. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Got the boys series finale review next week. Hopefully it slaps. But until then, have a good rest of your week. Enjoy some playoff basketball. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.